Hello, hello. It's Thursday again. It is the Dr. Charise show. So, welcome again to our second episode of Dr. Charise show. I am so excited that we're doing our second episode today. And I'm hoping you can bring more and more people here so we can spread the word about food allergy awareness, about asthma, as we close the gap in our communities. So, before we get started, I do want to let you know this show is not meant to take the place of medical advice of your medical professional or doctor. This show is only for information purposes. So, only for information. So, I hope you have your pen and paper, and I hope you're ready because we're about to get started with our show today. We have a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I would like to reintroduce myself. I am Dr. Charise Barnes. I'm a pharmacist. I am a mom, an entrepreneur, an allergy expert, and asthma advocate. And today we're going to present to you Dr. Charise's show. So today I was thinking about what should we talk about? Because there are so many topics that we could talk about with allergies and asthma. So I was talking to my 12-year-old son, soon to be a teenager, and he said, you know what, Mom? You should talk about take the anger out of allergies. I was like, you got a good point, Nicholas. Because we don't realize how much having allergies, especially to foods or even insects or dyes or chemicals, how much that can affect your mental health. Really. Because a lot of times people don't realize they become very anxious. And they don't realize that they anticipate things happening. But once they make themselves real anxious, they start having that increased heart rate, feeling start to sweat, the blood pressure goes up. So you almost feel like you have an allergic reaction, but really you're just being very anxious. And sometimes being very anxious actually makes the matter even worse. So it's very important to be able to recognize that you're very anxious about being around the things that you're allergic to, whether it's food, chemicals, different cosmetics, even the smell. People don't realize with allergies that sometimes just being airborne can cause you to have an allergic reaction. So you definitely want to make note of that. Make sure you pay attention to your emotions, because a lot of times you just make yourself more anxious than what you really should be. So today I just want to just talk a little bit more about that, and just wondering, have you ever felt that way before? You went out to a restaurant and you're feeling really anxious because you didn't prepare or be very proactive to call the restaurant and say, hey, I'm allergic to A, B, and C. Can you accommodate my allergies? You know, you just showed up with your friends hanging out and you be like, oh, I'll be fine. But when you get there, you're sitting there all nervous, your palms start getting all sweaty, your heart starts to race, and of course you have your EPIs with you, your epinephrine auto-injectors, because remember, BYE, bring your epinephrine auto-injector. Never leave home without those. So you have that with you. You have your allergy emergency kit if you already have a history of food allergies or any type of allergies. So you are just sitting there nervous. So in order to help those situations, it's best to plan ahead. Always call the restaurants before you go, or get online and look at those different menus just to see if that restaurant will be able to accommodate you. And just other things too, especially in smaller kids. They get real anxious sometimes, or they may feel like they're being left out because they're not able to eat certain food items if they have different types of allergies. And not everyone is allergic to only the top 8, soon to be 9 food allergens. People can be allergic to dyes, different chemicals, different scents. You know, if they just smell it or they touch it, they might have a rash or hives, or even more serious, an anaphylactic reaction. So what you can do, especially in little kids, is try to teach them how to be a self-advocate. And even if you're an adult experiencing these things too, learn how to be an advocate for yourself. And you wonder, like, what do you mean? Being an advocate for yourself is one, speaking up for yourself. Telling your friends and loved ones, hey, I have this allergy, I have this going on. please don't offer me snacks or food with these different items because it makes me anxious. Or please don't offer these things to me because it makes me feel bad because I can't have these things. Or, just trying to be proactive in those conversations really help you. And even with kids, you can get very creative by, hey, make your own cookbook, or let's make our own recipes, or let's find ways to tell others about it, who don't know about it. So just doing those small little things can make a big difference when you are dealing with those things, just trying to take the anger out of things. And I always tell people who just find out they have a food allergy, because it is very overwhelming. It's very challenging. Just take a deep breath. Just relax. Give yourself a little grace. And what you want to do is just, focus on the things that you can have. That's very important. And you definitely want to be able to just look at the positive things. That you could be allergic to 50 things, but you may only be allergic to 2. And once you begin to start focusing on what you can have versus what you cannot have or cannot do or go to certain places, life gets a whole lot easier. You have a different positive outlook on your allergies because it could be worse. And also, I always like to tell people, you want to make sure you just be thankful that things could be worse than what it is. You want to make sure you not being bullied, whether it's your adult or especially kids at school. The other kids may be trying to bully them because they may feel like, oh, well, I'm sorry, you can't eat this today. But learn to teach your kids, promote that awareness. A lot of schools already have those classrooms that are nut free. But like I said earlier, a lot of people are not just allergic to the top 8 allergens like peanuts, tree nuts, fish, shellfish, soy, eggs, milk, and dairy, and soon to be sesame. So it's very important to just continue to advocate, at your church, in the community, the schools, your sports. Just when you go places, be more proactive in the things that you do because it's very important. And just taking care of yourself. Just being very aware of self-care, especially during COVID, is very important. Know to listen to your body. Make sure you take time to get rest, to hydrate, research different products that you're not really sure about, finding different alternatives or options for different things that you're allergic to. Make things fun because you'll be amazed once you change your mindset. Things will be so much different. With just dealing with that anger with your allergies, only thing you want to think about is, I can't have this, I can't do this, I can't touch this. Flip it around. Make it a positive situation because you want to be able to bring the awareness to your allergy. And you want to be positive and have that positive mindset. And another thing you can do is just in your community, bring it up, especially at your church or different organizations. Say, hey, I just want to bring this to everybody aware, with people who may be suffering from food allergies or different type of allergies. You're not alone. Try to be that support for someone. And if you need support for yourself, seek someone to get that support that you need. Because like I said, self-care, self-awareness, being a self-advocate just for yourself, just knowing what to do, being prepared if you have an allergic reaction, will take the whole anxiety out of everything. So let's stop there and talk about, how prepared are you? Do you have an allergy emergency kit already assembled? What things do you have in that allergy emergency kit? Do you always carry your epinephrine auto injectors, which you should? Remember, BYE, bring your epinephrine auto injector. Do you take along your antihistamines? Do you take along hand sanitizer? Do you take along wipes? Do you take along your asthma inhaler? So those things that you really want to think about. I don't know if you had a chance to check out my allergy emergency kit. Definitely reach out to me if you have questions or want to know what all the different content is, because there's different videos as well. So I definitely would like to invite you to do that. I also want to invite you to join my Facebook group. Staying safe with your allergy. It's a great Facebook community. About at least 800 people now, that people have different types of allergies, whether they're dealing with food allergies, dealing with fruit or different type of foods, insects, chemicals, medications, or just even asthma. So it's definitely very important to get involved, to educate yourself. There's never too much education. It's always good to be prepared, because you never know, you might have that allergic reaction. So definitely, I hope you found this information very helpful. I'm very excited to bring this show to you. If you have any questions, definitely send me a message, or you can email me at info@afroallergies.com. You can follow me here on Facebook again, like I said, at Afro Allergies LLC, or even more, join my Facebook group, Staying Safe with Your Allergies. And also, if you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Afro Allergies as well. So if you have any questions, definitely leave me comments down below. I'm glad you was able to join me today for our second episode of Dr. Charise Show. We got more to come. And if you have questions or concerns or topics that you would like for me to discuss, definitely send me a message or leave me a comment down below, because I'll be happy to see what we can do to bring more awareness. Because my goal is to help close that gap in our community so we can reduce those ER visits, reduce those visits to the doctor's office. Because you don't realize so many people have asthmas and allergies, and they do get the medication, but they don't know what to do, how to use the medication. Or they may be having a problem with trying to find a medication because 1, it's not available, 2, they can't afford it, 3, they don't know how to ask for help if they cannot afford it. Did you know that some companies do offer discounted rates, or may actually give it to you at a cheaper price, or sometimes there's coupons? So there's a lot of information out there. So there's a lot of gaps in our community that people need to know. And then sometimes it's all about having access to that doctor. Did you know there's very few allergists in the United States? So a lot of times you have your primary care doctors or your pediatricians trying to tackle something that they're not very familiar with, or they don't know the resources to send you to. So if you have questions, definitely leave me a comment down below, send me an email, send me a message, join my Facebook group, Staying Safe with Your Allergies. So stay tuned for our next episode next week. I look forward to bringing you more information, and I really do enjoy doing this. So definitely send me a message to let me know how it's going, what topics you would like to hear. And maybe next week we can touch a little bit more about the whole COVID vaccine too as well. I actually go for my second shot next week. So I'll be definitely like to give you a little feedback on that too as well. So stay safe out there, wear your mask when you're out in public, continue to maintain that 6 feet as well. Remember all those allergy tips that I gave you, because believe me, pollen is starting to get out of control. I don't know if you've been outside today, but my car was covered in pollen. It's starting to look a little yellow. So definitely take care, stay tuned, and we see you the next episode. Take care.